Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Doodles, and I am back once again for another episode of Reviewed. And man, we are ploughing these out now. We went almost a year. I'm not entirely sure how far it was, but it was getting on closer to a year between the first and second episode, and now it's barely been any time at all between the second and third. And I hope to keep it that way and start doing a lot more of these videos because I'm having a lot of fun making them, and fingers crossed you are having just as much fun watching them. And today I've got an awesome album to check out for you guys. This is by an alternative country rock singer by the name of Roman. This is his debut album after spending years and years doing session musician work for some big artists around the New York area. He has finally got his own debut album out. Man, if you listen to it, you are in for a treat. This album is called Empire, and this is a track by track review. So Empire is the debut album from Roman, and I've got to admit that country music is probably one of the genres that I listen to the least. I couldn't really tell you too much about who artists are, some memorable songs. I don't really know that much about it. However, if this is an example of what country music can be like, then I really think I need to start listening to it a bit more because, man, this album has just blown me away. So after spending countless years writing, recording, producing for other musicians in the New York area, Roman geared up to finally write and record his own debut album. And the album is inspired by all the things that he loves, such as New Orleans, country, jazz and rock. And each song is a personal story from what's almost like a musical diary, where each song is inspired by his own personal experiences from day-to-day life. So Empire is 11 songs long, and 10 of them are actually under 4 minutes long, and in fact the longest song on the album is exactly 4 minutes long. So when I initially listened to the album, I thought that this would be perfect driving music. This is the sort of album that you'd want to stick on in your car when you're driving down the road, or maybe even kicking back at home with a glass of whiskey and a cigar. It's so relaxing to listen to. Despite the fact that it's got a quite up-tempo groove for a lot of it, it's just very chilled out, very relaxing. It's one of those albums that you can just sit back, you can turn on, listen to and just enjoy the experience. The album has amazing grooves, deep lyrics, and the songwriting is absolutely top-notch. But now let's get into the songs themselves. The album begins with the song Coming Over Here and starts with an acoustic guitar playing a strong groovy chord progression before Roman's powerful vocals set the tone for the album. From the off, I could tell this was going to be an album that was full of powerful vocals, strong chord progressions, amazing grooves and A-star musicianship. This song is about Roman's lust over a girl while he's out drinking. The song is full of incredible hooks and lyrics, and you'll find yourself humming them long after you finish listening to the album. If there's a perfect example of how to start an album, this could be it. The album continues with the song Boy from Salt Lake and pretty much continues the same premise as the previous song. Incredible hooks, strong groove and amazing songwriting by Roman. The song is about a boy from Salt Lake who's travelling from a small town to the big city and then being overwhelmed by the size of it and trying to make his way through the city. The song tells of the struggles, the hardship, the mistakes that he makes while trying to make it into the big city, and then his eventual defeat as he heads off back home. The next song is called Not My Fault and features an incredible vocal performance from Lacey T. This song is much quicker paced as opposed to the previous two and features a lot of classic country elements such as banjo. However, this song does take on more of a rock approach. The chorus hook of the song could have easily been wrote by a whole host of bands, and for that reason it's very memorable, however it is still very fresh. The song features a rapping verse by Lacey T before heading into the final section of the song, showing how versatile the songwriter Roman is with the fact that the album is primarily country rock, yet he can add all these different elements from different genres into it, showing that it's not just the same country songs that people have heard time and time again. This is a fresh, new take on the genre. This song is definitely one of my favourites from the album. The album continues with the song Saints and is about a man that loses his life in New Orleans, and it references the American gospel hymn When the Saints Go Marching In. This song is one of the more slower, more ballad type songs of the album, yet still has that familiar, memorable groove. This song is another fine example of Roman's storytelling and ability as a songwriter. So right, at this point in listening to the album, bearing in mind that we're only 4 songs in, I was thinking to myself, man, why doesn't the whole world know about this guy? I predict it'll be a couple of years and you could be flicking through your channels one night, you could be watching X Factor, The Tonight Show, something like that, and you hear that the guest performer is Roman performing one of his brand new songs. I don't think it'll be long before someone at a major label will discover this guy and they'll snap him up in a heartbeat. And if this is only the 4th song and there's 7 more songs to listen to, then he's definitely onto the right track. So right, next up on the album is the song Only Love Remains, and it's the tale of 2 unlikely people that will fall in love. One of them is a bit of a nerd, he likes debates and stuff like that, and the other one is a cheerleader, both from opposite ends of the social spectrum, yet both have fallen in love with each other. This song has very memorable hooks and is a song that I could see people sing along to at a concert, and this song has a definite more pop rock feel to it, yet still has that sort of familiar sound and groove, memorable songwriting. Everything about it still sounds like Roman despite the fact that it is more of a pop rock type of song. And this is probably in my top 3 favourite songs on the album. I actually love this song. Really, really good. I highly recommend you go check it out. In fact, check out the whole album, but I think this is one that you should definitely go and listen to. So for this next song, Roman dials it back a little bit for the album's title track. This one is called Empire. This is another more ballad type song from Roman. However, despite the fact that it's slower tempo, it's got a soft piano melody, he still manages to bring the high energy that you'd expect from him based on the other songs. Roman seems like the sort of artist that if you heard a song of his, you'd know it instantly as his. Whether it's a pop rock song like Only Love Remains, it's one of the more groovy songs that you've heard previously in the album, some of the more country orientated ones, or one of the more softer ballads. You hear it and you go, that's Roman. You can tell straight away. He's got that very familiar sound to him that comes across in all of his songs. They all sound familiar, yet they all sound fresh and different in their own way. So this next song on the album is called Dirty Bird, and Roman kicks it up a notch once again. This is a more classic rock type of song. It's full of sexual innuendos and it features an amazing guitar solo which really shows Roman's versatility as a musician. The years that Roman has spent as a session musician has definitely paid off with the fact that he can take little bits from different genres, whether it's like rapping verses in previous songs, going more ballad, going more pop rock, classic rock with big guitar solos like this. Roman has the ability to take little bits from all the genres of music that he's worked on and bring them all together into one memorable sound that Roman has. As I said previously, if you hear a song by Roman, you can just tell it's him, and it's really great that he's able to sort of fuse all of these together to sort of give it a unique type of album, one that doesn't just follow the same type of songs time and time again throughout the whole album. Each song is a little bit different yet familiar, and each one takes you on their own little ride in their own way. I could see Dirty Bird definitely being a single for the album. This is definitely a song I could see people dancing to in the clubs when they're seeing him live. It's got memorable music, it's got amazing hooks, it's great songwriting, the lyrics are fantastic, and overall one of the best songs on the album in my opinion. In fact, I was actually dancing in my chair listening to the song as I was writing the review for this video. So the album heads into the final stretch with song number 8 called Without You Here, and this song dials it back to a much more traditional country style song with a lot of banjo and harmonica. The song tells the story of two people in a very broken relationship. All the signs point to them, the fact that they should break up, the fact that they argue so much, they break things, they just can't be together in a very happy and stable environment. Yet, despite all this, he wants nothing more than to be with this girl. It's a very memorable song which once again I found myself dancing to as I was writing the words for this review. So the album is definitely in the final stretch now with just 3 songs to go, and song number 9 is the true ballad of the album called You Minus Me Equals Zero. The song is a more stripped back piano based song, and I think it's a follow on from the previous song which was about the broken relationship. This song is about a relationship that's now ended and the fact that he feels lost and incomplete without her, and it tells the story of how one person is just a fraction of a whole team and that it takes 2 people to really make one complete person, and that he longs for this relationship to work again and for him to get back together with her. This song is a definite contender for a single and really shows his ability as a songwriter. I think this is one of the best songs on the album without a doubt. I'd say I generally prefer the more higher energy ones, but in terms of songwriting ability, I'd say this one is definitely up there near the top for sure. So although the last song was absolutely fantastic, you just can't end an album on a sad note. It's got to end on a happy note, and Roman knows that, and he delivers just that with his next song called No More. The song is very upbeat, very happy, and features a funk chord progression which could be heard from the likes of Nile Rodgers. While the last song was about him being so sad, so broken and so incomplete with the fact that his relationship has ended, this song is more about him accepting it. He's understood that it was for the best, and he's actually happy that it's ended now, and the fact that he's now free, and he's free to live his life, and he's free to make his own choices, free to just be him again. And he seems like he's finally accepted it, finally over it, and is really happy that he's now back doing his own thing without having to worry about the broken relationship that's coming home to. He's not having to worry about the constant fighting, the arguing. He's just a free man, able to do what he pleases, and he seems very happy about it. Now this final song on the album is called Thank You, and it is a perfect way to end this album. This is a song all about thanking the people that have stuck with him, stuck by him during all the difficult times, during his struggles trying to make it as a musician. While his relationship was broken, he was going through that tough time of the arguing, the fighting, and sort of being at a low point in his life. He's just thanking everyone who stuck with him and helped him through those experiences. And this is a song that sounds like it could be played at a bar. It sounds like the song that people would sing and dance to when they're out drinking, having a good good time drinking shots, drinking beer. Now I expected the final song to be a little bit more up-tempo like the previous song. This one's a bit more sort of like in between. However, I don't think you could have asked for the album to end in a better way. Now it's easy to forget that this is Roman's debut album. This is the first album that Roman has released. This sounds like the album that a seasoned veteran who's toured the world, who's got major success, who's known around the world, a massive star. This is the sort of album you'd expect from someone like that, not song number one from an artist that's still fairly unknown despite the fact that he's got a lot of good credentials from session work in the past. As a solo artist, Roman is pretty unknown, and by the end of the album you kind of forget that. You think this is the album that should be album number 5, number 6, number 7. This is an album from a seasoned pro, and this is album number 1. I can't wait to hear album number 3, album 4, so on and so forth. If this is number 1, we are in for a treat. This album completely blew me away, and as I said earlier, it wouldn't surprise me if in a couple of years' time you see him on The Tonight Show, The Late Show, all those sort of late night talk shows, shows like X Factor, America, Britain's Got Talent, stuff like that, performing as a guest performer. It really wouldn't surprise me if that was the case that we see in a few years. This is a star waiting to happen, and I predict it won't be long until he's just that. So the album link will be down below in the description box. Go and check it out. It'll be on Spotify. A link to his website and all that will be in the description box too. Let me know what you think of the album down below in the comment section. And if there's any other albums that you want me to check out and review in a future video, let me know in the comment section too. And if you've enjoyed this video today, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. My name is Doodles. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.